first of all, I should say the environmental scan's a study that's undertaken every 12 months by Auto Skills Australia, and it's designed to look at the nature of the industry, the labour requirements in the industry and the skills we need in the industry. So it brings together all of those factors that determine whether or not we've got enough people to actually get the job done in the future. So that's the background to the scan. For the body trades industry, it's affected in the same way that the light vehicle industry is concerned in terms of mechanics, and to a degree the heavy vehicle industry. But the body industry's got a number of areas that we call thin markets or thin trades, things like automotive trim and those sorts of trades that are thinning, which means that we will really struggle to get enough people into those areas. And I'll come back to the thinning areas in just a moment because it's an important message. We know that the industry has got a form of consolidation occurring, and in the body trades in particular, it's more profound than anywhere else. And by consolidation, what we mean is that every year we actually have less businesses in the industry, and that's caused by a consolidation of existing businesses and business buying groups buying more than one workshop, and sometimes consolidating those as well. We understand the insurance industry has taken a different sort of ownership approach to the body trades industry, and some people argue that that's good or bad. It just depends where you are, and that is what we describe as structural change in the industry. And in some ways it's very similar to what's happening in automotive manufacture, is that there is significant change around business modelling. That means that people really need to think about the way they're running their businesses in the future. That doesn't mean to say that there aren't some really good business models there. Part of my job is to go to different states and talk to industry and through the Motor Trades Association and through individual businesses. And I'm always surprised when I sit down with a group of body guys. Let's say there's a group of 20 body guys, and 4 of them might be bemoaning the fact that their business is very difficult to run, but there's always 1 or 2 in that group that are doing really, really well, and they're not always tied to a major insurer. Sometimes they've got a niche area of the industry, or they've been in a particular area for one time. What the scan does show this year, and it brought this up last year as well, is that businesses that invest in skills and training and invest in upgrading their facilities have got far higher rates of sustainability long term. So what that tells us is if you're in a body shop and you're not updating your equipment, you're not retraining your staff, and you're not looking to the skills that are needed for the new type of builds that are coming through in terms of repair, then you will struggle. But that shouldn't be news to anybody in the industry. For the last 100 years, since the mechanic actually used to weld the guard up on an old car, and the mechanic actually did everything. So if we go right back to the beginning of the formation of a motor car as we know it, that skills capacity and that technological change has always occurred. It's occurring quicker now, but there's nothing new here about change. And for most people in the industry, they should see this change coming. Change in the automotive industry doesn't just arrive in a brand new car one day. We still take 4 to 5 years to design and build a new car, and there's a lot of dialogue in the industry why that's occurring. So for somebody to be surprised about new technology in the industry, I would be worried about that. I think it's about the way that people are gearing themselves to operate as that new technology is coming through. So the scan tells us that it's the way that businesses model, and it's also the equipment that they've got and the upgrading around that, and their skills capability in the workplace that's going to be critical for success in the future.